When you start working with Salesforce, there are a lot of things you have to figure out. And every so often somebody comes by and says, hey, can you do me a favor? We need a new app built in Salesforce. Can you do that for us? And you're kind of like, maybe? Well, today I'm going to show you how to build a Salesforce app, and it's a lot easier than you think, and it doesn't require any unpleasant coding. Let's take a peek. Whenever anyone says anything like build an app, your first thought is, I don't know how to code. I don't know how to do these things. But I'm going to show you a very easy way to build an app. But let's start by exploring what the heck an app is. Now, by the way, I'm sitting here working in what is known as my sales app. And what an app basically allows me to do as an admin or as someone who's using it is have access to a certain number of these different objects. So I have access to the calendar object and the accounts object. So they all show up here along the top here as a tab. Now, if I come over here, I can launch a different app. For example, I can go and say, let's look at the marketing app. And now the marketing app is going to give me an opportunity to see a combination of different object tabs that I can access. And again, this is about what do I need in order to do my job. But somebody says, we need a brand new app for a new team that's coming into our company. And these are the innovative training people. And you're like, what the heck's an innovative training person? And so in the process, when we come in here, we can see we have a number of apps that are already here that are built, but we're going to build ours from scratch. Let me show you how. So again, you need to have admin accessibility in order to do this. And as I roll up here to the upper right-hand corner, I'm going to roll over my gear icon, and I'm going to go into my setup. The tool we use to create an app, not surprisingly, is called App Manager. So I'm going to come up to the quick find box in the upper left-hand side, and let's just say App Manager. There we go. And it's going to find it, and I'm going to click on it to select it. What it's going to show me is all of the apps that have been developed for the Lightning experience. And again, Lightning is really a more modernized look and feel for Salesforce versus what was known as the classic view. Okay? And there are ways of swapping back and forth between them if you need them. We're going to focus on creating a new Lightning experience app. And as you can see, there are a number of things down here, including there's our sales and we have marketing in here somewhere, etc. Now we're going to create a brand new one. And in order to do that, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say, let's create a new Lightning app and give that a click. And I'm going to give this a name. We're going to call this Innovative Training. That's us. And if I click down here to enter a developer name, it will bring it down API friendly. And I'd probably in the real world want to include some sort of a description in here in case somebody wanders in later and goes, what the heck was this? And what was it for? But here's one of the other things that's really cool. I can set a kind of a primary color value, something that is going to make my app perhaps stand out from the other ones. Like, for example, what color would I like to have the tabs show up? Maybe I'm going for kind of a red hue. I'm going to bring it in here and say, there we go. It's going to be more of a red color when we're done. And maybe there's even a specific logo for this organization or this part of the organization. So I can click on this upload here and it could take me and it'll say, it's going to look like that. It probably won't look like that. That's a random piece of artwork that I have here. But as you can see, it's something that might be accessible, a JPEG or something where I can say, this is what I want to show up at the top of the page. Okay. I can also come down here and get a sense of kind of what it's going to look like with my app launcher preview. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. And when I'm done here, I'm going to click on the next button and it's going to allow me to say, okay, who do you want to be able to access this? Who should see this? By the way, do you want to see this in standard navigation or should this be something that's only available in the console? I'm going to say, yeah, we'll go standard navigation. Do you want this to appear on just the desktop or can people look at this on their mobile phones? Well, I'm going to do both desktop and phone. And again, the setup and, are we setting this up for people to use? Again, you can set restrictions if you need to. I'm not going to bother. I'm going to say that's all good and click on the next button. And now it allows me to come in if there is any specific items that are only available desktop. There are some things that will only work on the desktop and I can come and select those things here if I want to. I'm going to bypass this. I just want you to know what it is. And I'm going to click on the next button here. And if you look in here, here are all the available items. These are all of the objects that have been created. Most of these are standard to Salesforce. And I can come in here and say, wow, what do I need for the innovative training group? Well, I think they're probably going to need some analytics, don't you? So if I click on analytics, I can now click on the arrow to bring it into my list of selected items. And I can come down here. Let's say we have a calendar. We want to bring that in. Maybe we have some cases that we need to work on. But anyway, I can come in here and I can choose from all of the different objects in here. We'll have our contacts, of course. That's going to make things very important. Maybe we have contracts because we're doing training. We have customers, I hope. That's a good thing to have. And what we put in here is entirely up to the needs of the group. All right, I'm going to put in a home tab because, we should probably have a home tab to go to. Let's get some leads in here and a few more things. I think we're going to need to also have some opportunities, things we're tracking here. Maybe we have some reports. Again, what we put in here is entirely up to your needs. But as I look in here now, I have a list of possible tabs that will show up as part of my new app. Now, another thing to understand is that if I don't like the order, the way these tabs are showing up here, I can come in here. If I clicked on reports, let's say, it gives me an opportunity to click this up arrow, and I can now move it above opportunities. If I had contracts, I want to move that down, I could do the same thing like that. So we can put them in whatever order, then rearrange it as is needed. And once we're done with this, we're going to click on the next button, and we're going to determine who should be able to access and use this new app. And we can do this based upon the different profiles we have in our system. Now, in this instance, I'm going to make sure that I can see it, and I'm the system administrator, so I'm going to click on that and pull it over and say, okay, the selected profile that will be able to see my new app is going to be me. Of course, if I could share with other people, I would select it here as well. And I can click on Save and Finish. All right, now if I come in here and look, I have my innovative training app is showing up in my list of apps. I'm going to go back up here to the app launcher, and I'm going to look in here. And I don't see anything right away, but if I click on View All, and I come in here, I might need to scroll down just a little bit. You see there's a new one that has been added. So everything that I see up here is an app that's already been created to make things a lot easier for me to access, including the new one. And by the way, if I scroll down, there's a lot of different objects. So if I want to just pop into the opportunities object for a moment, I can jump into here without having to jump into an app that has it. And now if I click on Innovative Training, my brand new app, I can see a couple of things. First of all, the red color that I selected is what's showing up as the default here, all right? My image is showing up. It may not make much sense in context, but here it is. And again, an opportunity to click on opportunities, an opportunity to click on cases or customers. And as we've discussed in a previous video, if I want to, I can grab these individual tabs and I can move them around. I can say, you know what, I think that's going to be more convenient for me because I'm going to be using this more often. Why don't I put it into this part of things? And the stuff I use least often, I'll send over here on the right-hand side. But that's really all that's involved in creating your own apps. Now, like most things we do in Salesforce, there's no wrong way to do these things, right? You're going to come in here and you're going to say, I want to be able to provide a group of people with the tools they need in order to do their job. And so by going in and saying this object and this object and this object, now, if you want to remove things in the future, can you? Absolutely. If you want to delete an app you've already created, can you do that as well? 100%. You simply just need to go back into the app manager, find the app that you want to get rid of, and you have an opportunity to click and delete it. So it's fairly easy. So if anybody ever says to you, hey, can you build me a Salesforce app? Look at them and say, of course I can. I'll be done in a few minutes. Anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you today. Hope you find this useful. If you do, please subscribe. We'd love to be able to chat with you on a regular basis. I'm Spider. I'll talk to you sometime real soon.